James Lynch here for Ozoon. Happy to be joined by Gillian Robertson, who's got a big fight coming up here. Amanda Lemos, UFC Fight Night, March 14th. It's finally happening. Gillian, how you doing?
I don't know if we can say it's finally happening yet.
That's true. You know what? I might have jinxed it. You know what I'll do? I'll stay away for some black cats and some ladders and broken mirrors and all that stuff. You should probably do the same. So it actually happens. And of course, we're talking about this because this fight was supposed to happen in December and it got moved. What happened? Like, I just know during fight week, she had to withdraw from the fight. Like, what did you find out as to why she couldn't take the fight in December?
So she had a cold sore actually, and the commission wouldn't allow her to compete with that. Obviously, it's contagious. So, yeah, it was. I literally just finished my pre-fight workout. The morning of, I usually just do a little shakeout, so like a light workout with my team, and I went back to my room and I got a phone call, and my manager was telling me that Amanda Lemos was not going to fight that night. So it was literally 4 hours before I headed to the arena that I found out.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was close. I didn't know it was that close though. Has that ever happened before? I know you've had fights canceled or opponents switched up, but that's kind of pretty close to fight time.
Oh no, this is the first time I've ever really struggled getting a fight. I feel like I was offered Yan in Shanghai in October, I think. Then I was offered, they said they were looking for me for the last card that was in Canada. I want to say it was Vancouver.
It was, yeah, October,
then, yeah. So I was told maybe the Shanghai card, maybe the Vancouver card. They couldn't find somebody for me there. Then I had Eisman Lucindo for the December card. Then she pulled out. Then I had Amanda Lemos step out, and then she pulled out last minute. So I'm like, it's just been cancellation after cancellation for me right now. And after my most inactive year, I'm just happy to get back in there.
No, absolutely. Well, I imagine the weird thing though is like, obviously it's a cold sore. It's not like a major injury or anything like that. Like, why did it take so long to rebook this fight? Do you know any idea why? Was it just that? Because I don't think cards were filled up, or maybe they were. I don't know.
They did try to rebook us for a little bit sooner. I asked for a little bit more time just because, I don't know, going through a fight camp, the weight cut, the holidays, everything. Yeah. I just needed at least a month to kind of get back to normal, and then we went back into fight camp.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Obviously, you did the full camp already. It's like, putting your body through that again would be kind of tough. But the plan was always to get Amanda as your opponent, because I know even when we talked, when they did switch up the original opponent from Lucindo, this was a better fight, right? Amanda's fought for a title. She's someone that's obviously got a little bit more name value. The plan was always to still fight Amanda.
Yeah, so literally it was as soon as it was canceled that day, we were in negotiations of when the fight was going to be rebooked. So it was always Amanda. Does make me a little bit nervous that it might not go through this time still, but yeah, we're still on that path. I still think it's a good matchup for me, and it'll put me in an ideal spot.
Why don't you think it'll happen? Just you're superstitious, or?
I don't know. It didn't happen the first time. There's something around it that I just think that there is a lot of nerves for her. Maybe that is why she got stressed and got a cold sore. I'm just like, I'm worried she won't show up.
Okay. No, that's a fair point. I mean, that stuff happens. I know, again, we're kind of repeating ourselves here, but just looking at your style and what you bring to the table against hers, how do you feel like stylistically? Is it striker versus grappler, or we got to look a little bit deeper?
I think it's MMA fighter versus striker.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that I've been getting better and better at mixing it up. Just like my in-between game, like not necessarily striking or grappling or wrestling. It's been like being able to put it all together, being able to find my elbows while I'm wrestling or while I'm grappling, or mixing up my takedowns with my striking and just putting it all together, where I feel like I really am just becoming a complete fighter at this point, where from her side, I think she's going to be very athletic, very explosive. She's going to try to come at me and take my head off. I feel like she's always there to bring a fight, and she's definitely has the power to drop a girl. So there's those elements that she brings, but I feel like once I drag her into my world, it's just, we're going to drag her into deep waters and not let her breathe.
Anything different for this camp over there? The Goat Shed, who mainly working with for this one as far as training partners, helping you get ready for this fight?
Always my two coaches, Dean Thomas and Coach Mango. Roy Echeverria, he'll be in my corner as well. He's actually out in Vegas already this week because we have a fighter, Alberto Montez is making his debut this weekend too. Nice. So yeah, I got another teammate already out there this week. Had Adrian Garcia, who's going to be the main event of LFA the day before me.
Okay.
So he's been a huge part of my fight camp. He was who I sparred today. Gloria DaCosta, who's another one of my main training partners, who's fighting the same day as me too, on another regional pro show, and Jade Durand and Eden Del Rey are my other two training partners I've been working with a lot.
Good stuff. I love the shutouts because these are fighters we're going to be hearing about, especially the ones on that are on the regional scene. So it's good. And at one point, I'm sure that was you as well, right? Where teammates would shut you out. So good on you. I think that's good to get some free advertising here on this interview, which is great. Weight cut's always good. I mean, we've talked about this. Obviously, you've got it down to kind of a science now, making 115. So that's all going well ahead of the fight.
I feel like my body just knows when it's time. Like even when I'm holding on to a little bit of weight, this week I feel like it's just been dropping off of me. It's like this is my 20th fight with the UFC. I think I want to say it's like my 37th fight overall, counting my amateur and pro. So I'm like, it's just part of the routine at this point.
Okay, that makes sense. Did you ever, because we talked about this in the last interview, did you ever get a Ninja Creamy? Did I tell you? We talked about this in the last one, did we not? About the ice cream maker that you can get. Did you ever try it?
We did talk about it. No, I didn't try it. I forgot about that.
No worries. I was telling some other people about it. I think it's the way to go if you want to eat some nice snacks while also trying to cut weight. Because again, it's just like having a protein shake. Although I don't know, like, I guess, can you even have protein shakes during camp? Or is that going to add too much weight on?
At this point, we're kind of cutting down calories. Usually I have a pretty full diet for majority of my camp. It's just 2 weeks out, we start cutting it down a little bit. So this is my first week where I probably wouldn't be able to do something like that.
Okay. Dean Thomas going to be in your corner. Who's going to be in the cage with you?
Dean Thomas, Coach Mango, and Roy Echeverria.
Okay, there we go. And how's this fight playing out on March 14th? How do you see it going down?
I don't see it going the distance. I see me finding, I see her trying to attack me and giving me an opportunity, giving me my hole and me getting on her back and finding my choke. I'm going to call a second round.
Okay, I love it. Do you find it a bit interesting that they have not booked Mackenzie Dern's next fight yet? Like, do you feel like in some ways the UFC's kind of waiting to see what happens with this fight? And because something you and I talked about back in December, like you weren't convinced that Weili was going to come back down right away and fight for the title again. And it's kind of proven to be true because we haven't heard any news on her fight. Do you think that bodes well for you, especially if you win this fight?
Yeah, I think unless Weili is trying to come back, right now we don't really have any, I guess, I don't know, I would say people that are contenders, I feel like that should fight Mackenzie at this point, that deserve to fight Mackenzie at this point. I know Tatiana's about to fight Loopy, so I think like depending on how that fight goes too, that might be a possibility. But I definitely think that it's still good timing for me. I still think that the opportunity is still there. It really depends on Weili.
Yeah, do you think it could be a case too, or maybe they look at both fights and they say, okay, whoever's the more impressive, that maybe we'll go with that? Because they kind of did that. Well, we think they were going to do that with the whole middleweight thing, right? Where it was like Imavov and Kayao, and then it was supposed to be DeRitter and Anthony Hernandez, and obviously that got all messed up. But sometimes they do that. Well, they'll book like two big fights, and then it's whoever looks better.
Yeah, I think it is it might be that. Maybe they are just waiting to see how the Lemos and me and Lemos play out, because I'm like, that was Tatiana's last fight, and I feel like she was kind of like, I guess the only talks of who would be up for the belt. So maybe we see how this fight goes and compare it to that one. We don't have to wait for the Tatiana fight, and I can get back in there quick against Mackenzie.
Do you want to fight in Canada again this year? Because I think it's been a bit, and I know obviously the next card's in April, so that would be too close. But they usually go twice a year. So would you hope to get on that next one if the timing works out, depending on where it is?
Yeah, they always put me on the card usually like the week before Canada or the week after Canada.
Yeah.
So hopefully they put me on a Canada card.
Yeah, you would have loved Vancouver last year. I don't know if they'll go back because they've gone back so many times, but that's a good spot for a variety of reasons, which I'm sure you're aware of. Last question, because I know your coach was working with her. This Kayla Harrison Amanda Nunes fight obviously didn't end up happening. Kayla got the neck surgery. I know this sounds kind of nuts, but do you think that fight might not happen? Like, that's a pretty serious surgery to go through for Kayla at her age and all that. Any part of you think that, it could be jeopardized depending on how the recovery goes?
I honestly don't see that fight happening at this point, and
Really?
it breaks my heart because I wanted to see that fight more than anything. I feel like that is the fight that truly solidifies Kayla as like in her legacy, where I'm like, she hasn't fought the toughest of you haven't fought Amanda Nunes yet. You haven't fought the best of the best. I'm like, you had to beat her to really solidify yourself. And I don't know, with the point that they're at in their careers and their ages, I just don't see it happening at this point.
Okay, that's fair. Do you think as well, like, not to, none of us are doctors or medical experts, but do you think part of the reason Kayla did get hurt was because of the weight cut? Because that's like half her camp, and I know for fighters, when you do cut a lot of weight, you are more susceptible to getting injured. Do you think that played a role at all, or is that just baloney?
I don't know. It may be a possibility. I guess I don't know. I didn't have an inside look on the camp. I wish I was a fly on the wall so I could even know all the ins and outs of it. Because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that was just such a huge fight, such a huge opportunity, and I don't know if it had to do with the weight cut or not, but it's
Yeah,
just
I don't
sad
think
to
it
see.
helped. Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
certain. And I also don't think, like, I hear fans talking about, well, 6 months that works out for the White House card, and I'm like, I doubt Kayla's going to rush back to fight on the White House card, like a neck injury, surgery like that. That's so serious. I think the UFC is going to take their time if it even does happen, like you mentioned.
Oh yeah, which it's just rough for the UFC too, because I'm like, she's the only American champ right now.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's true. So I don't know what that White House card's going to look like, which is going to be a little bit nuts. Before we go, we were just talking off air before you hopped on here. You're still doing some great work over there for Fight Bananas. Any like media opportunities have come out of that? Is that something you want to get into? I know you're busy enough as it is with training and all that, but we've talked before about sort of opportunities outside that. Is that something you hope happens this year, or something you want to do more of?
A little bit yes, a little bit no.
Okay.
I'm open for opportunities. I'm definitely I don't know. It is a field that I do want to explore, but it is that I am in the middle of a title run right now. So it's like that takes up so much of my
Yeah.
just mental energy. So there is so much that goes into just me being a fighter right now that I can't take away from too. So I'm like, if I'm out of camp, I'll be open for the opportunities. The second I have a fight coming up, though, I am 100% shut down.
Yeah, no, totally understand. And still making times for interview, Gillian. I really appreciate it. It is UFC Fight Night, March 14th. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors, any social media you want to mention? I'll give you the last word.
Just shout out to Pax Vaporizer and Regenerate RX. They both helped me a lot through this camp. And obviously, all my teammates I shouted out earlier. And watch Alberto Montez this weekend and at the UFC 326, I
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
believe. And yeah, that's about it. Follow me on Instagram at savage_UFC.